Powering the future, REC's leap into green energy financing. Target audience: MBA students, operations management practitioners, operations strategy enthusiasts, renewable sector enthusiasts. Domain: operations strategy. Case length: around 1100 words. Teaching duration: 60 to 75 minutes. Learning goals: after engaging with this case, you should be able to analyze how a large-scale infrastructure financing initiative can balance public policy goals with commercial viability. Identify the implicit structures and mechanisms that enable collaboration between public entities and private sector players. Evaluate risk allocation strategies in multi-stakeholder energy projects. Formulate recommendations for scaling such financing models sustainably. To understand and utilize public-private partnership framework to analyze the case. Background: Rural Electrification Corporation Limited (REC), a public sector enterprise under India's Ministry of Power, has historically played a pivotal role in funding power generation, transmission, and distribution projects across the nation. Traditionally focused on coal and hydro-based infrastructure, REC in recent years has been steadily realigning its portfolio towards renewable and sustainable energy. By mid-2025, global shifts toward decarbonization, India's net zero targets for 2070, and the government's accelerated push for renewable adoption created unprecedented opportunities for large-scale financing. The International Energy Agency had projected that India would need nearly $10 trillion in energy infrastructure investment by 2070 to meet its targets, with renewable energy contributing a lion's share. Against this backdrop, at the India Energy Week in 2025, REC announced it had signed Memorandums of Understanding, MoUs worth 1.1 trillion rupees, around $13.4 billion, with a mix of private developers, state utilities, and international technology firms to finance green energy projects across solar, wind, hybrid, and green hydrogen domains. The announcement: the MoUs were inked in the presence of central ministers, state dignitaries, and representatives from multinational corporations. The financing commitments were spread across multiple categories. Ultra-mega solar parks in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Andhra Pradesh. Offshore wind projects off the coasts of Tamil Nadu and Gujarat. Green hydrogen hubs integrating electrolysis with renewable plants. Battery energy storage systems to stabilize renewable heavy grids. Hybrid projects combining wind, solar, and pumped hydro for 24/7 clean power. Interestingly, REC was not taking on the role of a traditional lender alone. The agreements reflected shared responsibilities between public institutions and private developers, with technology partnerships, risk-sharing arrangements, phased funding structures, and performance-linked disbursements. The vision behind the partnerships. REC's chairman Vivek Kumar Devangan emphasized that the goal was not merely to provide capital, but to unlock the renewable value chain through coordinated involvement of multiple stakeholders. Government agencies would facilitate clearances, land acquisition, and infrastructure linkages. Private sector developers would bring in technology, construction capabilities, and operational expertise. Financial institutions would ensure bankable structures with milestone-based funding, reducing early-stage risk for private players. For example, in one agreement for a 3-gigawatt solar park in Rajasthan, the state government agreed to expedite land acquisition and power evacuation approvals, while a private renewable company from Europe committed to supply high-efficiency bifacial panels, and REC provided phased loans with interest rate incentives for meeting commissioning deadlines. Operational model in practice. The design of these projects, while diverse, had common operational principles. Long-term commitments. Projects were structured with 20 to 25-year horizons, ensuring predictable cash flows for investors and repayment schedules for REC. Revenue security. Power purchase agreements were often signed with state discoms or large industrial consumers, locking in demand and price flows. Risk distribution. Construction, operational, and market risks were apportioned across stakeholders, with insurance products and sovereign guarantees in certain cases. Performance incentives. Developers could access low-cost financing tranches if they met efficiency, emission reduction, and completion benchmarks. Example, the Kutch Hybrid Energy Cluster. One of the flagship MoUs was for a hybrid renewable cluster in Kutch, Gujarat. This project aimed to integrate 2 gigawatt of solar generation, 1.5 gigawatt of onshore wind, a 200 megawatt are battery storage system. The project site's coastal location offered high solar irradiation and strong wind patterns, enabling complementary generation cycles. REC's financing would cover about 70% of the total project cost, with the remainder raised via equity from a consortium of Indian and Japanese energy firms. The state government committed to building a high-capacity transmission corridor, while a foreign technology partner provided advanced forecasting software to optimize dispatch. The revenue model included selling power to both the grid and to industrial customers under open access arrangements. Stakeholder dynamics. While the partnerships promised large-scale renewable expansion, they also revealed tensions and challenges. Policy uncertainty. Some developers voiced concerns over retrospective changes in renewable tariffs by certain states. Technology risk. Large-scale adoption of green hydrogen and battery storage carried uncertainties around future costs and operational reliability. Land and community issues. Projects in desert and coastal zones faced local opposition over land use and ecological impact. Financial structuring. Balancing concessional lending with commercial viability required careful calibration. REC addressed these challenges by building multi-tier governance committees with representation from all stakeholders for dispute resolution, incorporating flexible financing clauses to accommodate technology upgrades mid-project, creating local employment and skill training programs to secure community buy-in. Early results and potential impact. Within 6 months of signing, several projects had reached financial closure, and a listed site work had begun. Analysts estimated that, once operational, the portfolio under these MoUs could add 25 gigawatt of renewable capacity to the grid, avoid around 50 million tons of CO2 emissions annually, create over 1 lakh direct and indirect jobs in construction, operations, and maintenance. Beyond numbers, the initiative signaled a shift in India's energy financing approach from siloed public sector projects to co-created ventures leveraging the strengths of both public institutions and private players. The strategic questions. As REC's leadership prepared for the next phase, they faced strategic decisions. Scaling versus selectivity. Should REC aggressively expand such partnership-based financing nationwide, or focus on fewer, high-impact projects to minimize execution risk? Technology bets. How much capital should be allocated to emerging technologies like hydrogen and storage versus proven solar and wind? Global versus domestic focus. With interest from foreign developers, should REC position itself as a global green infrastructure financer or remain focused on India's domestic needs? Balancing returns and impact. How to maintain commercial returns for stakeholders while fulfilling broader social and environmental mandates? Discussion questions. How does REC's approach in these MoUs reflect a balance between public objectives and private incentives? What mechanisms in the agreements help reduce risk for both the lender and the developers? If you were REC's strategy head, would you prioritize emerging technology projects or proven large-scale renewables in the next phase? Why? What are the potential pitfalls if REC tries to scale this model too quickly? Road ahead. As India's energy transition accelerates, REC's 1.1 trillion rupee MoUs could serve as a blueprint for future green infrastructure financing, not by relying solely on public or private capabilities, but by blending them in a way that shares risks, pools resources, and creates long-term value. Whether this model becomes a nationwide standard will depend on how successfully these partnerships navigate the complex terrain of policy, technology, markets, and community engagement. About Dr. KBS Kumar. Dr. KBS Kumar is a distinguished author and teacher in the field of management, with an exceptional portfolio of over 100 published case studies spanning diverse domains of business and management. His work has been recognized on the global stage, having won more than 20 international awards in case writing. With extensive experience in training corporate leaders and guiding academic institutions in the art and science of case writing and case-based teaching, Dr. Kumar brings a rare blend of academic rigor and practical insight. His contributions extend beyond authorship. He actively mentors and facilitates learning for students, scholars, teachers, and practitioners across multiple management disciplines. Through the Caseverse platform, Dr. Kumar aims to provide a strategic perspective on contemporary real-world business events by presenting them as engaging and insightful case studies. These cases serve as powerful learning resources and can be applied in various contexts, including personal knowledge enhancement, academic classroom discussions, corporate training programs, managerial development workshops, brainstorming and strategic planning sessions. Driven by a passion for developing critical thinking and analytical skills, Dr. Kumar's case studies offer both conceptual depth and practical relevance, making them an invaluable tool for anyone seeking to understand and navigate the complexities of modern management. For more management case videos, like, share, and subscribe to the channel The Caseverse. Contact thecaseverse1@gmail.com.